how do you support others to achieve their own transformation, their own inner transformation? Do you use any tools, programs, or processes? Maybe you've created your own.
The short answer is in any way I can, because there are many different ways to get home, home being here. Right. There are many different ways to get home, and different methods work for different people. I find talking from that place is very helpful to people, because that's where insight comes from. And more than gimmicks and formulas to trying to remind ourselves, when I have an insight, I've noticed the change is automatic and permanent, because it's insight that came from me that changes the way that I think about things. So I do a lot of that with insight, but I also say, if your heart aches, I think this is the greatest, the most important not had conversation on the planet, is the conversation about heartache. Everybody knows what it is. We have hundreds of different words that we call it by. So that includes loss and sorrow and grief, blues when somebody dumps you, disappointment when an expectation isn't fulfilled, yearning, striving, longing, and we feel it in our chest. We don't like that feeling. Most people don't like that feeling. I've had this conversation many times with many people. We don't like the feeling, so we either distract ourselves from it, or we ignore it, or we deny it, or we blame somebody else for it. And what I say to people is, sit with that feeling. It will not kill you, and it will not hurt you. If you sit with that feeling, that's your heart calling your attention to come back home to the core of your own being, where your fulfillment lives. And if you sit with that ache as your starting point, you are that far away from your fulfillment, because it's just behind that, not even a hair's breadth behind it. And every human being has it, and every human being feels the thirst, and that thirst was invented by life as the greatest gift you have other than being alive. Because if you'd never had that thirst, you would never find your way home. It keeps calling you back, calling you back, calling you back, until you actually address it. And then when you slip behind it and you discover that life has taken perfect care of you every moment of every day, then that heartache goes away.